and you borrowed $100,000 to go to college, you can afford to pay it back. You can afford the $300 or $400 a month. And if you cannot afford the $300 or $400 a month, guess what? Get a part-time job.
The video I found on YouTube.
You're going to piss me off now, aren't you?
So this is a video I found on YouTube.
I don't have that's it?
Yeah.
It's 13 minutes, dude.
You know what the real problem is with the workplace? It's that people in your generation don't want to work anymore. Now, I'm sure you've heard that one before, but we all know that's complete BS. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what I think the real reason is why people don't want to work anymore. And today I wanted to dispel some myths on why it seems like people don't want to work anymore. Now, of course, it's easy to blame that other generation who may have had it easier or worse than us for what's going on in today's labor market. But I think it's nearly impossible to ignore that the job market is completely broken at this point, and it is.
So I don't agree with that to begin with.
Okay.
Right, because he says why people don't want to work anymore, but unemployment's at 2%, so people do want to work, and people are working.
There's a sentiment that or that anybody hires anyone, and you bring them in, and they really just do the bare minimum. So
But I don't think that's any different than it's ever been. Younger generation, older generation, my generation, that sometimes you bring your A game and sometimes you don't bring your A game. The only thing that I feel is different is that the pandemic created an environment where people think it's cool to work from home. Other than that, and I think some people are probably more productive that way, which I never would have admitted 5 years ago. You've known me a while, I never would have admitted that. But I just think that this concept that folks don't want to work, I think that's bullshit.
Historically, we have been raised to believe that loyalty pays off. So we've been taught at a very early age to work hard, get a college degree, go through the motions of a career, and loyalty will eventually pay off in the form of a comfortable retirement, and we can move off into the sunset. And of course, that worked for many years in the past.
I don't know that any of that's accurate. Okay. And I'll give you an example. Loyalty, work, put in your 30, and you get a comfortable retirement. I don't know where that's the case. So my godfather, my uncle, worked for a major fortune company for years, and he had a great retirement and pension plan. My dad worked his ass off for 50 years. He never had a comfortable retirement and pension plan. Never counted on anyone else to take care of him. He thought it was his job to show up on time and his or her job to do their job properly. And it was their job to provide for their future. It was not somebody else's job to do that. So I think if you strip out government employees and military, I don't know that people were raised to think, show up and you'll be rewarded 30, 40 years down the road. I don't know that I agree with that statement at all.
Our parents and our grandparents and our grandparents' parents all had these careers that were steady and stable. And back then,
that's bull too. Great-great-grandparents came over on a boat somewhere and hoped to find a job, okay? And I don't know who his great-great-great-grandparents were, but I can only speak about mine. They work with their hands. They work like dogs. They fixed toilets. They dug ditches. They grew things. They worked like dogs, and no one gave them anything. So I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to accomplish other than do what a lot of people do, which is piss me the f*** off.
It's very common that you could go work as a single income provider, and you could go off to your local factory, or you could be a carpenter, or you could work at your local post office, and you could make enough money that you could raise a family, that you could buy a house, and that you could build a life. Things are so drastically different now that that's not even a feasible reality.
That's bullshit too. That's bullshit too. So you can't work now and provide for your family, build a family, buy a house, and enjoy life. You can do whatever you want. Who's stopping you? The only one stopping you is you. So I'll give you an example. We have a gentleman that works here, and his dad is 93 years old. And the first job he ever had, he got paid he got paid 60 cents an hour. 60 cents an hour. And he worked up till about 25 years ago. And he worked, and he bought a house, and he worked, and he built a house, and he raised a couple of kids, and he retired, and he always had enough savings to protect him and take care of himself. And he never asked anyone to give him anything. There's a work ethic. You either have it or you don't have it. You either have it or you don't have it. And it either matters enough to you to put in the effort to find a way to create stability for you and your family, or it doesn't. And I don't like whoever this bearded guy is.
reality for most people. In fact, most people who are graduating from college now are finding out a very tough reality. They racked up hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. They're now paying interest rates, probably 8% or more, and they'll realistically never pay the student loan off. And then
So if you need to borrow from the federal government to pay for college, and you get out and you don't have a job that allows you the affordability to pay back the loan, that's your problem. They gave you the opportunity to get the education you wanted, and now so many of the loans have been forgiven anyway. It's kind of crazy, right? But it gave you the opportunity. You know, when I graduated college, you know, before dinosaurs roamed the earth, my starting pay was $13,500 as an accountant. 2 years later, I passed the CPA exam, and my pay was a whopping $21,000 going back 1978, 79, 1980. And I thought that was okay. Now kids are getting out of college with an accounting degree and they don't know debits from credits, and they're getting $60, $70, $80, $90,000 to get started. Well, if you're getting that kind of pay and you borrowed $100,000 to go to college, you can afford to pay it back. You can afford the $300 or $400 a month. And if you cannot afford the $300 or $400 a month, guess what? Get a part-time job.
So, I know, oh, you're gonna hate this.
Probably.
There was an article about a woman making $100,000 a year, but cost of living, she can't afford to pay rent and pay back her student loans at the same time.
Sure. So I'd say the following, ready? You borrowed the money, you're responsible for it. Whatever your full-time job is, drive for Uber or Lyft for 2 or 3 hours a night for 4 days a week, make an extra couple $100 a month to make your student loan. You're responsible. I'm sorry, that's all there is to it. You're responsible. I know I'm the old guy and nobody wants to hear it, but I've never asked anyone to say, here, I don't want to pay you anymore. Is it okay? I made a mistake. I can't afford to do that. That's just not the way the game's played. All right? And I'm not suggesting it's a generational thing, because it's not. It's just a thing. You're either honorable and live up to your responsibility, or you're not.
And then they enter into the workplace and they have pitched this idea that, hey, if you work hard, you get this degree, you're going to have a great career path. And half of them can't even find a job. They'll apply to hundreds of positions and not get any.
When was this video shot?
This was 2 weeks ago.
It's 2% unemployment in this country, and you're telling me half people can't find a job? Well, what are we talking about here? What in God's name are we talking about? So, where's he based out of? We need to go meet him.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Is that a state?
And he worked as a corporate recruiter for 20 years.
Yeah, I wonder when he got out of college, what he got paid when he got out of college, how hard he had to work to get the job. I don't care. I don't give a goddamn.
Responses. And if they do get a response, it's for a job that realistically doesn't even require a college degree, or it's at a fraction of the amount
Here, so I got to tell you, I don't think everyone should go to college. I think people can create great lives doing other things. I think being a plumber or an electrician now is a 6-figure job. You don't have to go to college for that. You can go to a trade school for that, right? Being a sushi chef can make $70,000 a year. There are a lot of ways to make a good living that you do not have to go in debt for, and you don't have to spend 2, 3, 4 years in college. You can go into the military, get the GI Bill, and let them pay for your education. You can't make excuses that someone went to college or university and then can't find their dream job, and woe is me, I have student debt and I'm in trouble. That's just not the right way to look at things. What else you want me to listen to? Piss me off today.
I mean, you want to keep going?
No, I've had enough.
So it's no wonder that a lot of people who enter into the workplace are very jaded by this.
Brian, my friend, number one, not everyone is college material, so just because you borrowed money doesn't mean you should get big bucks. Number two, no one should get big bucks coming out of school. Number three, you borrow the money, you have a responsibility. Number four, there's 100 ways to make extra money nowadays. Drive for Uber, drive for Lyft, go to Amazon, go work at Costco. You can make money. And now with minimum wage, I don't know what it is. If you're in California, I think it's like $17 an hour, but rest of the country, I think it's $12, $13 an hour. 10 hours a week's $120. At the end of the year, it's $6,000, more than pays your student loans. So I think we're making a bad point here. Borrow the money, you're responsible. If you went down a career path and it didn't work out for you, it's probably your responsibility. As far as people showing up for work and putting in the effort and energy, I have a lot of people working here. They all put in the energy and the effort. It can't just be that we only hire great people. There's a lot of great people out there. Maybe you as a recruiter picked the wrong people, the wrong persons, the wrong hires. I don't know. Shave your beard, I don't like it. Do you agree with me or not agree with me? Do me a favor. leave your answer in the comments below so I can respond back to you and tell you how much I disagree with you.